What is up and how's it going? Welcome back to another edition of the Noble Steady Sort of Sports Talk. This is an ATS episode. Today we're going to be covering the Conference Championship Week in the NFL. As you can see, we're down a host today. Unfortunately, Brosep's feeling a little under the weather. We hope he feels better soon, but he'll be on the mend and he'll be back next week. But I got Shane O'Mac with me. Shane, how you doing today, buddy?
What's up, my friend? That intro just gets me all mellow. Gets me all. I was vibing over here. I like it.
Right?
I hope Joey feels better soon. But we got to power on.
We do. We do have to power on a little bit here. So let's just jump right into it. I mean, we got two great games that are great storylines going into them. So let's make some money and watch some good football. So our first game on the slate is going to be the Commanders going on the road to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are a 6.5-point favorite with the over under 47.5. Shane, who you got and why?
I am going Commanders 6.5 in the over. I think similar we've talked about. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm hoping the Commanders win. I think they can win. If you look at this last game they had, they were back and forth scoring. It was a 3-point game. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, be a fun game to watch. But I got Commanders plus 6.5. Hoping Jaden gets to the conference championship.
No, gets to the Super Bowl, sir.
Super Bowl, sorry. He's in I'm hoping he can get to the Super Bowl. You know what they mean after that team and fan base went through with Dan Snyder. The new ownership team looks fun. It looks like they're having a good time. So it's fun to see an organization who just was miserable, come out. This is a win for them as it is. So
speaking of Dan Snyder, before I get into my picks, just looking back at the Commanders / football team / Redskins lifespan, man, you really just look at when they were just crap was directly his leadership.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
There's just a definitive mark of he bought the team and then oh god, that's got to suck for him right now. But he's also not a good guy from all the reports. So who cares?
I had somebody that used to work at Intersport. At the Pelicans that worked there, and she told me it was miserable. She enjoyed they had good people working there, but he was not fun to work for.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, there's so many stories out there. We don't need to dive into them, but yeah, he doesn't sound like a very nice guy. Him and Donald Sterling, I feel like would get along. But anyway. But enough sidetracking. Yeah, I'm going to go with Commanders plus 6.5. You know what? I would even feel hammer the money line on this one. I just love the way this team's playing. They are coming out and punching teams in the mouth. And look, Shane, you know how much I've said, I like the Eagles' talent, player stuff. I'm going commies all the way on this one. I think they come out. Jaden's just, dude, I don't know if this guy has a pulse with how, just calm he is during these, big time moments, right? It's just smooth, ice cold. The deep ball is all there. All these things that this guy shouldn't be able to do as a rookie in these high pressure situations, he's doing. The game awareness is there. Look, call me. I'll hop right on the bandwagon. I'm going call me 6.5. Give it to me all day, and I would more than happy to do the money line on this one as well. And I'm going with the over.
Yeah, I got my Commanders gear supposed to hit Saturday for the game.
Nice.
If the Eagles passing game can't get on track, then I think like you said, the commies might just blow them out because they're going to have to keep pace, and unless Saquon's breaking off these runs, which he can. But
yeah, I was about to say.
To me, I'm loading the box against this team and making them beat me in the air. I know they have dynamic playmakers, but for some reason their passing game just has looked completely off the last couple of weeks. So
very much so.
Yeah. So be interested to see. But I'm rooting for the Commanders, as you all know.
100%. Speaking of the Eagles passing game, real quick before we move on to our touchdown projections for this one. Did you see the meme where it was Jaden Daniels is our only hope from seeing a Super Bowl where Jalen Hurts throws for 128 yards?
Yeah, let me just tell you the memes and the I've seen the one where Josh Allen is Captain America at the end of Endgame and he's ready to take on the Chiefs. They've got some good stuff out there. The internet usually is always undefeated.
Always. speaking of like Endgame and stuff, I saw one where it's just like everybody in America jumping on the Bills bandwagon for them to be the Chiefs since it's the final battle scene of Endgame, right?
Yeah,
Everybody finally meeting up together.
yeah, that's the one. I saw that one too. That was it's good.
Oh man, like I said, internet's undefeated. So with only 2 games being happening, we're gonna give you all a little more meat to the bone of this episode. We don't want to give you all a 10-minute episode. We're at least gonna shoot for 15. So we're gonna give you all touchdown projections. So mine personally is gonna be Brian Robinson Jr., who's going off at plus 195 right now on FanDuel. Look, they get within the 3-yard line, they're gonna give it to him probably at least 2 out of 3 times. So I'll take those odds all day. Give me Brian Robinson Jr. just to basically fall into the end zone. But he's having a good season. I don't want to take anything away from him. But that's my pick there. What about you, Shane?
I went with a little bit. I mean, I think yours is a better odds of happening, but they have AJ Brown plus 145, which I would reverse those two in my opinion.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
B Rob gets in, but I'm just going with Brown. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I think him being the bigger receiver. Like if Lattimore's on him, Lattimore hasn't looked the greatest, and I could see him just physically getting in the end zone on him. So taking a shot on that one just to see if maybe if the Eagles are going to win, I think they have to score some passing touchdowns.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not gonna be a slobber knocker kind of game. I feel like this game's gonna really be a lot of big plays, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so those are our 2 picks for there. Brian Robinson Jr., AJ Brown. I like those picks. For some reason, I got a weird feeling about Dallas Goedert as well in this game. So just kind of throwing that out there. I don't have the odds on it whatsoever. We haven't talked about it beforehand. I'm literally just throwing in the show for y'all. So there you go. Let's move right along though. Unless Shane, you got one you want to pull out your back pocket, since I decided to throw that one on you.
This just seems like a I'm trying to think of who like for that team, but like a Dommy Brown kind of like he's gonna get or Zacchaeus. Like I think people are gonna hammer like B Rob and Terry McLaurin, and I could see somebody getting behind the defense and getting like just that obscure plus 360 kind of touchdown.
Hey, you gotta love the plus 360 kind of touchdowns. Look, they're fun. They're underdogs for a reason. They're long shots for reasons, but hell, they're always the best to hit, right? Not just money wise.
So your Dallas Goedert's plus 300.
Okay.
Zacchaeus plus 480. Brown plus 320. How about we go with? I'm going to go with this one. Okay, this is someone I love. Kenneth Gainwell plus 900.
Okay. I think there would be some. Well, fantasy football is over with, but could you imagine being a Saquon owner and being like, man, he's putting up all these yards just for a Kenneth Gainwell to get a touchdown? Oh, I'd be so mad.
Oh,
as
yeah.
As a Saquon owner. But
as a better at plus 900.
Yeah, you can't argue with the plus 900 now. Heck no.
Now, before we dive into Bills Chiefs,
okay,
did you see that Joe Brady is in town or was taking an interview this week?
I did. We've had 2 interviews with 2 offensive coordinators. Did you see what the second one was?
Was it Kellen Moore?
It was Kellen Moore.
So I saw that, and then right before we got on, Aaron Glenn has requested Clint Kubiak for an interview for his OC. Callie from the Rams, who is the favorite.
Yep.
And I forgot the third one, but
somebody for the Raiders.
He was the Raiders. Yeah. I forget the gentleman's name. So be curious to see. I think we're going to see some in between the conference championship and the Super Bowl. I think some of these head coaching jobs are going to get kind of fleshed out.
So since we're talking about it, I will say, we do talk a lot back and forth. We're going to have to get him on the podcast one time just because we name drop him so much. Talk about Corey. He brought it. Like, I don't know if you saw it in a group chat, but he brought up a good point. I feel like if we were going to hire Mike McCarthy, it would have happened already.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no hurdles. I feel like it's Brady. I feel like it's going to be Joe Brady. Honestly,
I like the move. I think we've talked about this. Younger guy, innovative guy. It's worked in for like when they hired McVay. Seattle looked pretty good this year with a younger head coach. The Dolphins have looked good. They had some injuries.
Oh boy, did they!
I would hope that if they're going to hire Brady, I'd like to know who his defensive coordinator is going to be.
It's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. But like I said, I think it's more tilting Brady, and I'm excited. It's a new era.
Yeah.
Not to overuse that phrase, but
I would love like a Ron Rivera. If I know he's done some head coaching, he's a guy who's been a coach that you can lean on.
he's done that before, though, hasn't he? Not to. I feel like he's been a DC to a young offensive coach not too long ago, but I could be mistaken. But I feel like he's done it before. That would be bad,
Yeah.
you know. But with our cap situation, we got to find somebody that runs a 4-3. Like it's too hard for us to switch to a 3-4 right now.
Be curious to see. I'm looking forward to. I think we'll be talking about the position being filled next week when we do our recap.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And look, and then we can start really fleshing out what this team's going to look like, right? Because we're all it's a lot of speculation, but and then we're going to get to the Bills Chiefs after this. I will say, I feel like if you go with a Brady or a Kellen Moore, I don't think Derek Carr's here.
No.
I don't know. I don't think that work. I think Moore, you would have a better chance of him staying, but I feel like with Joe Brady, I think he's going to be like, no, I want somebody, or we'll go a Rattler. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, he's he likes to utilize two tight ends. We're very light at that position. I don't think we have a traditional.
Well, you got really
Foster Moreau is the closest thing to like a traditional maybe tight end.
Yeah.
Hill goes in from time to time. He's getting older. Jawan Johnson
ACL.
Looks great, but can't stay on the field. Yeah, he's a little banged up.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I'll be curious to see the roster construction once they lock the coach down, because you can for instance, they can cut Derek Carr and say it's going to be a post-June cut. They don't have to wait till June, correct?
No, they do not have to wait till June. They just have to designate him as a post-June 1st release. But I don't think they can do that till after the Super Bowl. I don't think they're allowed to start making those cuts yet.
Because there's a team that will probably grab him as a gap quarterback. Some of these teams who might not get the quarterback in the draft they want. I'm not excited. We'll get into this, I know, in a lot of detail when we talk with draft stuff, but I'm not super excited about the quarterbacks in the draft being like a coming in like these guys did this year and competing.
No, I'll be the first to say in early evaluation, every single one of them would be ranked below Bo Nix was going into like I wouldn't draft any quarterback that went in the first round. I mean, below them, if that makes sense. I said that very weirdly, but you know what I mean.
Well, did you see Caleb Williams' outfit at the press conference with Ben Johnson? He looked like the Matrix.
I did. That dude, look, like
I
you
give
said
him credit, man. He's his own dude.
Like you said in the recap episode, Ben Johnson's a quirky guy. He's a quirky guy. Maybe it's just all works together, right?
I like that Ben Johnson gave a really big props to Dan Campbell and
as he should.
Dan Campbell kind of called out the league. Was like, well, if no one else wants Aaron Glenn, I'll take him back, but it's ridiculous if he's not a head coach. And the next thing I know, the Jets sign him.
So, yeah. I mean, the writing was on the wall. I mean, it's kind of funny that he's like, Ben Johnson was like, oh, I'm not going to the Commanders because the organization's not great structure or whatever like that. And they're in an NFC Championship game and just lost to him. Now he's going to coach the Bears, who have a horrible organization, or at least I should say horrible. They haven't had the best track record in a while.
No, I mean, they got talent too, so it'll be curious to see. I think he hires DA. And then, but that 3 of 4 teams were in the playoffs this year. It's not like he's going into a league that a division that he can easily win.
No, hell no.
So, anyway, we got a little off track there, guys. Let's talk Bills Chiefs.
Yeah, let's do it. So, like Shane said, we got a little off track. We have the Bills traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are a 1.5-point favorite. Essentially, this is a pick 'em. Over under is 47.5, just like the other one. Shane, who you got and why?
I'm going with my heart. I'm going with the Bills. It's basically a pick 'em at +1.5. I'm going to
Yes.
go with the Bills getting to the Super Bowl and beating the Taylor Swifts
The Yvonne
and
Hunter.
and the over and the referees
Yeah.
and America the over. To be honest, me and Amy were talking about this morning. Every scenario that can happen, I'm good with Chiefs Commanders, Bills Commanders. I'd be good with Bills Eagles because I'd have a rooting interest with the Bills. I just don't want to see the Chiefs and the Eagles again. The only thing
Good.
that would make me root for them is that the Chiefs. I would love for Mahomes to keep getting Super Bowls to supplant Tom Brady as the which I don't we and this is a longer conversation. I don't think you can goat a position based on one thing. There's so many factors, just like we talked about yesterday. The greatest of all time rushing quarterback is Lamar Jackson. You can't have two goats at the quarterback position. So
No,
but anyway, longer
I
story.
get it.
But
I get it. Look, I'm enjoying the high horse, the soapbox that Shane is just propping himself up on today. I love it, dude. I love it.
I just but anyway, I'm going with Bills. I think the team's playing inspired. I think that their fans are going to show up. They're going to get out there. They can play in the cold weather. I didn't look at the weather, but I think they're just going to go out there. They're going to try to run it down the Chiefs' throat and play tough football.
Look, all great points. You know, Josh Allen's probably gonna be the MVP. If not, I mean, if he's not the MVP, he's dang close runner up. Oh man, you know they've been great this season. And with all that being said, I'm taking the Chiefs. I can't do it. I've tried all season to find a way to just be like, they're not going to make the Super Bowl again. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And then watching the Texans game last week, I'm like, son of a gun. They're going to do it. They're going to do it again. They're going to find a way to the Super Bowl. We're just in an era of greatness with them. And unfortunately, it's going to happen. I'm with you now. I'm not even trying to put my eggs in the Bills basket. I mean, I'm just not going to set myself up for hurt. I'm putting my eggs in the commies basket, hoping they can at least make it, and just go from there. But I just do not see the Chiefs losing this game. They have come so close. And look, I'll say it: the Bills really didn't beat the Ravens. The Ravens got to beat themselves with the dumb plays and everything. I don't know, man. I'm just going with the Chiefs. Chiefs and over.
You know, I'll say this about the Chiefs. I think we talked about this. I've never seen a team win so much and not really look that great. Like their offense does not look. I can't remember a game where I was like, man, that's like the Chiefs old, right? Like when I have Mahomes in fantasy, you know, he was like a clear cut one, you know, a couple years back. Now it's like, are you even drafting him? You know,
Yeah.
because you don't. He finished 10th, but we've talked about this before. If you finish 10 or you finish like 4 or 5, it's about the same thing. It's a very small point difference. But you know, the only thing I'm looking at the last week's game, you know, McDermott's a good defensive mind.
Yeah.
If they take Kelsey away, if there's anything they can do to shut him down, he was more than 50% of the completions, I think, last week.
Yeah.
Or he was close to it. You know, like Worthy is a rookie. He's shown to make kind of mistakes and fumble. Yeah, I would make him beat us over Kelsey. Kelsey just was owning the Texans up and down the field.
Yeah, but see, you say that, but then like we're talking about earlier in the year, it's like, man, Travis Kelsey just looks washed and everything like that. And then you got, I don't know, Kareem Hunt, the corpse of Kareem Hunt resurrecting and just making a difference. It's just something feels like this is just inevitable. And how do I put this? It feels like this is inevitable for the Chiefs to make the Super Bowl. I almost kind of feels like it's inevitable for the Commanders to make the Super Bowl right now. Just the runs they're on and the feel that you kind of get with watching them. You're like, holy cow, they're the best teams. They're like have the most momentum behind them. So that's where I'm kind of at where because we've looked at the Eagles and been like, they haven't really a good passing game. The Bills didn't really look super dynamic, but they got the job done. Chiefs didn't look great. Didn't look great either. But I mean, look, what are you gonna say about the commies? Defense a little against one of the best rushing attacks we've ever seen. So they looked a little against one of the better passing attacks in the league, but still find a way to win. that's where I'm at with them and with the Chiefs. There's just an inevitability that this is happening.
They're going to have the glove out. They're going to go to snap. And Josh Allen's going to be like Tony Stark. He's going to take all those things, snap them out. Super Bowl.
Hey, look, I'm here for it all the way. I have said this from like week 5 of the season. And look, you've joined us about midway through the year.
Probably.
You know where I've been with the Chiefs. Been like,
yeah.
They looked like crap. Like they're not gonna do it again. I'm just accepting my fate. Okay, maybe I get some juju going. I turn it around, and the Bills pull it out just because I'm finally accepting it. But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's gonna be the Chiefs again.
I'm hoping. What I would just love is for 2 really great games Sunday.
Yes,
I think they're primed for that. I would be curious to see. And I'm sure it's not going to happen, but I'll ask you this before we get out of here. If the Eagles lose the game, do you think they shake anything up on that coaching staff with the way they've built that team talent-wise? And I understand they made it to the NFC Championship, but like if you look at that team and say, man, we really should be just cruising, they've built around Hurts. They've built a solid defensive players. Did they make any kind of change?
I don't think a change is made unless they get dog walked. And I mean like 50-0 dog walked.
If they just get handled completely.
Just handled completely. You know who they remind me of, honestly? It's kind of like the Bad Boy Pistons, right? Like they're so wound tight. Like I don't know if you've ever seen the documentary.
Oh, yeah.
So wound tight. That just takes one thing that's going to cause an implosion completely. And I think that's going to happen eventually with the Eagles. I don't disagree with you there because I just don't see Sirianni as that type of leader to hold everything together. And they do have some explosive personalities. But I don't think it's this year. Now, if you tell me, hey, they lose this game, and next year they start off 0-6, I would believe it. I wouldn't have a hard time believing it.
Yeah. So, just to blow your mind real quick, Sirianni looks like Scott Walker with a beard. When you see him on it, I saw it because Scott Walker's been on the Facebook. He does a really good job with like giving the information, him and his team. But I saw him, I was like, that dude looks like Nick Sirianni without a beard.
Well, now I'm not gonna be able to unsee that. So thank you for that. Thank you. Let's give our touchdown predictions too before we roll out of here.
Okay. I'm going. I think we both went with the obvious choices for the Chiefs.
We did.
I took Kelsey, I'm tired of losing money. I can't believe they're giving them plus 130 plus money.
Right. I can't believe Hunt got plus money at plus 165. Like I know Pacheco is back, but he's clearly not 100%. Like he is.
Nah, he hadn't looked like the same Pacheco.
No. I mean, look, he broke his leg. I get it. 100% get it. But Shane, didn't you have a little special parlay for our
Oh yes. So I took for the pod. We took Tyler's 2 picks, my 2 picks, B-Rob, AJ Brown, Hunt, Kelsey, 4-leg parlay, plays plus 38-13. We'll have 30% FanDuel boost. So thank you, FanDuel. Shout out them. Plus 4958. Every $10 wins $495 with the boost.
And just saying, if y'all take our advice and win some money, we are taking donations and we'll put it right back into the show.
That's correct.
Taking sponsorships too. All right.
Yeah.
So, but man, this is a good episode. This is fun. I had a good time today. Shane, is there anything else you want to talk about these games? Anything else you want to get off your chest? We can talk shit about the Eagles again. Just let me know.
I think I'm looking forward to some good games. I'm looking forward to the off season. We got some Dynasty Doctor episodes coming up. We're going to deep dive into some Dynasty teams, some good, some middle of the road, some pretty bad. I think it's fair to say that rebuilding. So
and look, when we go into it, and we'll say it again in the episode, we're not doing it to be mean. We're doing it to be helpful.
No, everyone signed off on it.
Yes.
Just, but it's tough to, even looking at as someone who has passed up on many great talents to draft Treylon Burks. It's tough. Sometimes you need somebody else. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm just throwing it out there because you know what? For all the hits, there's plenty of misses, and that's the miss. I'll go back for when we do my team. I will go back and say who I drafted him over, and it's bad. So, but everybody whose teams we're doing signed off on it. I think they're excited about seeing it. So that's just coming up down the wire, just to give it a little plug. I'm excited about some of our off-season stuff we're going to do.
100%. We got a bunch of good stuff coming on, and then I do want to shout out our non-football fans. We have some in the works for a pure hockey episode. Shane, we have that in the works. We've been talking.
I'll moderate that one.
yeah. We've been trying to work out some kinks, how we want to adjust it. We are talking a baseball episode 2 that we're going to dive into. I know Shane's going to be really the headstrong one on that one. And then we're going to bring you some basketball as well. Look, we're not going to forget any sports at all. With the betting side, maybe a little on the short side. There's maybe more blurps. So ATS may be becoming more of a off-season NFL channel. But we'll keep everything kind of in the same loop that's with y'all, and always stay informed. And we'll be launching social media soon.
Sweet. Feel better, Joey.
Feel better, Joey. For that being said, that's going to wrap up another edition of the Noble Steady Sort of Sports Talk ATS edition. We thank y'all for coming again. Party on. Win some bets this weekend. Peace.